Welcome back to S&M's Try 5 Garage. It's been 3 weeks since I drug the four-door home. Got the leaf springs changed out. The old ones were a little bit saggy, and if I'm not mistaken, one of them was even bent a little bit. But new leaf springs on it. 2-inch lowering blocks. New shocks. So now today we're going to replace the fuel line because I noticed it's got a fuel leak because whoever decided to run new fuel line, they use sections instead of one whole solid piece, and I don't know why this thing is not focusing. Yeah, I don't know why they used unions in this, but they did that on the back brake line and the fuel line, so they're both going to get replaced. Not really sure why you would do that on a fuel line, but who am I? So what we're going to do is, since 6 cylinders are ran on the inside, we're going to run them on the outside of the frame, so that way later on down the road, if this car ever does get a V8, which I'm sure that it will, we'll have the lines already on the outside. That way we ain't got to worry about it. So now it's time to get the old off and the new on, because you just can't have a fuel leak. And where is it leaking? Right there at that first union right there is where it was leaking. So I haven't started it since I found that fuel leak. So we'll get busy, get this thing tore apart, get the new fuel line on today. Still waiting on other parts. Got the poor man's power steering there. All new tie rods, ball joints, you name it in that box. And I'll leave it to y'all to figure out what's in that box because I can't tell you yet. But still waiting on the other parts to show up. And hopefully they'll be here within the next week or so. I'm going to call CPP tomorrow and find out, where they're at and when they'll be here. But I did get the new rims on there. I really wanted the 10-spoke, but I couldn't find them. They said Lord only knows when they were going to be here. So I just went ahead and settled for the 5. I mean, it's not like I'm not a fan of 5 either, so they're on everything else. But I went with the matte black, in order to, match the dullness of the original paint. I felt that, going shiny would have been, a little too much and really not match, the patina of the car. Because, like I said, I don't plan on doing anything to the outside of it other than, I might buff it, but that'd be about it. Anybody interested in some 1-inch lowering blocks? Cheap. So here we go. Time to tear into this again and be one step closer to being ready for the rest of the parts when they show up. And then we're going to switch cars around because Sam's going to end up bringing his 56 back, and we'll put it up on the shelf. Move the 55 over there, that 55 over here. Because let me tell you what, man, when you're doing suspension work on a 4-post lift, it don't work. I struggled so bad with those leaf springs. Just because of, obviously the platform of the lift itself is, it was a pain. So I learned my lesson on that one. Even though I got it done, it was still, more work than, I caused myself than what really needed to be, because I could just switch cars around. But for the front end suspension, that's going to get put over here. And I think we're going to do that within the next week or so. Get things moved around, his car back in here, and go to town on that. But hopefully them parts will be here, next week, well, this week, or, maybe the week after. Because I really want to start driving this before the snow flies. I'm more driving in a little bit of snow up until they start putting salt on the roads. But, because that's my plans on this thing, is driving it every day. So up until they throw the salt down is when I'm going to quit driving it. But rain, snow, it's going to be driven. And literally, I'm going to use it as a daily driver. So my parts need to hurry up and get here. Because once the parts get here, then I still got to take it down and, have an alignment done. I'll align it the best I can with what I have in order to drive it down without having to trailer it. So hopefully within the next couple weeks, a friend of mine bought this. Just waiting on him to come and get it. So that's been sold. Now just to get my parts in, because let me tell you, I'm just chomping at the bit. Just come on. So we shall see you guys here in a little while. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, because Lord knows I did. Food coma for a while, couldn't get off the couch. Yeah, it kind of hurt. But you guys have a good one, and see you on the next one.